have over 70 million people that rely on Social Security. We are the Committee of Cognizance. It hasn't been enhanced in more than 54 years. There are 10,000 baby boomers a day that become eligible for Social Security. And you guys laugh and smile and wonder why we're upset? Good, laugh and smile. Tell your constituents that. You can be as smug as you want up here, and as a majority, you can prevent us legislatively from calling these issues to a vote. But the American people know what's going on here. This is a blatant attempt by the Trump administration to privatize Social Security that stops, as was pointed out before by my colleague, by dealing with the brand, by trying to dismantle Social Security from within. That's why they laid off 7,000 employees. What other agency in the federal government has an administrative cost of under 1%? There's no one in the private sector, let alone the public sector, that even remotely comes close to that, and also insures over 70 million Americans. It's your citizens, it's your fellow Americans that are at risk here, and why I ask in this amendment, in a very simple manner, to restore the staff at SAA so they can actually do their job. Or maybe you'll go home and tell them that, no, we've got it all covered. We have AI that's stepping in for us that's going to take over that spot. Close more regional offices. Do away with more staff. Have a phone service that doesn't work. How about a human being on the other end of the line?
Yeah, how about a human being on the other end of the line? And John Larson, Representative John Larson, is not wrong. If you add up all the cuts that have happened to Social Security, certainly a lot of cuts, the majority of the cuts that have happened just this year alone, since the beginning of the year, what you'll see is he is not wrong. And we're going to be talking about a lot of that today. But I want to start with a little bit of good news. Good news, your Social Security checks are still arriving. The deposits are hitting your bank accounts, at least for now. But here's the truth. Beneath the surface, America's most important program, and I don't think that's an overstatement, America's most important program is being hollowed out systematically, quietly, deliberately. And if nothing changes, a system you and millions of others depend on could be pushed to the breaking point. Now, on the surface, yeah, the Social Security system, it looks like it's still working, unless you're one of those folks, one of those thousands, if not millions of people who are having to call Social Security every single month. Unless you're one of them, you believe it's still working. But a new report from the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, it came out last week, it reveals the reality. And the reality is this: the Social Security Administration is in crisis. It is in crisis. It's bleeding, as I say in the headline of this video. It's bleeding slowly. I will say it's bleeding, but it is bleeding profusely. So, is there a plan? Well, Frank Borgiano, or Bisignato, however you pronounce his name, and I hope I hate to butcher somebody's name, but he is the head of Social Security, and he's the new head, by the way, and he does have a plan.
People like to talk about the 70 million plus beneficiaries, and we do make those payments every month, but I think that's one piece of the equation. And we're running a digital business now. We have more transactions online than anywhere else. And the bold goal here is 200 million digital users by the end of next year. That's 200 million. Today we have 75 million. We've grown that a bunch in the past 5 months. We've taken the website, which used to be down for service hours 29 hours a week, and now it's up 100% of the time. We're in a digital transformation for Social Security.
Yes, we are in a digital transformation for Social Security, at least according to Frank. I'll just say Frank. But in the meantime, we're seeing shocking cuts that are bleeding Social Security dry in 2025. And I don't believe for a second that Representative John B. Larson in the beginning, I don't believe for a second that he was wrong about what he said. This is a slow bleed. It's a problem that we're facing right now with Social Security. Now, some of these cuts, to be quite frank, some of these cuts have been years in the making. But together, they've reached a breaking point that could forever change our benefits. And the cuts include regional office staff drastically reduced from 10 to 14 offices. Headquarters staff slashed in half. Even technology experts who safeguard the system have been cut. Field offices and call center staff down 15 to 25%. Congressional office staff, support office hollowed out from 50 employees down to just 3. Now, this is an important one that you should know about because number 4 here, congressional office, support office, these are the folks that report to Congress and let them know what's going on with Social Security. Those reporting folks from 50 employees, it's been slashed down to 3. Now, you also have appointments delayed for months. In-person appointments now average 4 to 6 weeks, some up to months of delays. Callers face longer hold times. The average wait time is more than 2 hours. Disability claims dragged out 8 months for an initial decision, 7 more months if you'd happen to appeal. You take the 8 and the 7, you got 15 months, you're talking over a year. Data security compromised. Outsiders are given access to the most sensitive Social Security files. Now you also have field office staff reassigned. 1,000 workers were pulled from face-to-face service. They were pulled, reassigned to answer phones. Then you've got 7,000 employees forced out a so-called voluntary resignation program, hollowed out the agency. Offices crippled. Some field offices lost 25 to 33% of their staff. 47 offices flagged for potential consolidation or closure. Whole communities risk losing in-person services altogether. Now, I visit. I go right by one of these offices myself. One of my good friends, actually a person, genius, I call him, who I work with, Scott Ernst. I call him Pittsburgh Scott. He lives right by a Social Security office. So when I go to visit Scott, I drive right by the office. And every time I drive by, I go behind the building where the entrance is at to see how many folks are standing there, who's waiting to get in line, who's waiting there just to get services that hopefully they can get within a short amount of time. But if you don't have an appointment, that's an issue. It's a real issue. But there are folks in the administration, billionaires in the current administration right now, who don't see these issues, these 12 issues I just outlined, as a problem. As a matter of fact, there is a person, Howard Lutnick, he's the Secretary of Commerce. He doesn't think honest, hardworking people should be worried. After all, his mother-in-law, he doesn't think his mother-in-law would be worried.
Let's say Social Security didn't send out their checks this month. My mother-in-law, who's 94, she wouldn't call and complain. She just wouldn't. She'd think something got messed up, and she'll get it next month. A fraudster always makes the loudest noise, screaming, yelling, and complaining.
Howard, your $3.5 billion is a nice cushion, because that's what you're worth. Your $3.5 billion is a nice cushion, so your mother-in-law doesn't have to worry. She doesn't get a check. I imagine she won't worry. She doesn't get a check for a year or 2 or 3 or more. But these massive cuts have affected a lot of other folks. They've affected them, even though at this point what we understand is folks are still getting their monthly checks. And yes, we do believe that. We know that. Of course, there are others who are complaining. And when I talk to my friend Kish Townsend, I talk to her. She is heavily involved in the city with business folks. And I talk to Kish about this all the time. People are concerned. People are concerned about their future. Now, I want to say that these are not random fixes by people who understand the impact of Social Security. Howard Lutnick doesn't understand that at $3.5 billion. Bizignano doesn't understand. These are what we're seeing, a coordinated assault leaving the Social Security Administration in chaos, where one cut feeds the next, where fewer staff means longer waits, which means more errors, which means more fraud risks. So yes, your checks, they're still coming, at least for now. But the Social Security system is being starved of staff, stripped of resources, and exposed to reckless mismanagement. And this isn't some distant trust fund crisis that we're all talking about. This is a here and now crisis that is hurting millions of Americans today. And there can be no more cuts. There should be no more cuts. I anticipate, yes, there will be. This is a slow cut to the Social Security Administration. But Congress, will they act? Well, they need to. And not just to fund the Social Security Administration properly, but to rein in the mismanagement before the damage becomes irreversible. And the promises that have been made since FDR implemented the program, made to generations of Americans, those promises are under attack. And if lawmakers don't step up, and step up fast, this betrayal will be complete. And this dismantling of the Social Security Administration is happening. It's happening. And we're seeing it it seems like every day we're witnessing it. We're hearing from folks out there in over 50 TV land. They're telling us about what's going on. So what I ask you to do is talk to your congressman, send a letter, make a comment on this video. But we need to do something. And talking to Congress, maybe that'll do it. But I will tell you this, there's one person that I know will listen, and that is Representative John B. Larson of Connecticut. He is the gentleman that I had in the beginning of this video. People like him will listen, and there are other folks that will listen as well. So listen, that's all I got. Speaking of listening, that's all I've got for you for today. I want to thank you for watching my video this morning. I don't usually do a live stream on Saturday mornings, but it just seemed to work out the best way for me here today. So I wanted to give you this information. But what I'm giving you is the most recent information. If you have any questions, make a comment, send me a message. I totally appreciate your listening. And all I can say, my friends, is have a great day, everybody.